Hola, my global thespians, or as I like to call myself, the good crazy. Welcome back to the Kevin E, the channel, and Q-Tips, the content. I am your host, Kevin E. West, veteran television actor. You can always find all that on IMDb or kevinewest.com. We don't have to spend time on that. But I am the founder of the Actors Network, award-winning business organization. Just so you understand, aside from working all those years, my background, which I started that organization back in 1991. That's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Tell your friends, all your friends, get them here. Today's content is, if you just saw the one before this, that's the overview to the second four. So today is number one of the second four, which is called the others. And the reality to the 5 items that are going to be in this now is that I know that part of you think, okay, well, Kevin, who the hell are they? Yeah, I know who they are. Yeah, I know you know. Maybe some of you don't. Whether you know or you think you know or you don't know at all, it doesn't matter. I'm never trying to offend anyone. I'm never trying to talk beneath anybody or over anyone. But I am trying to always address the fact that there may be pieces of something you feel that you know about that you hadn't considered. And then for some folks, 98% of what I say may be something you didn't know. So I'm always trying to make sure I address all of that. Okay, that's just the place that I work from in terms of the business of show business, especially when I don't necessarily know exactly who I'm talking to, who's watching this. So here's the deal. Directors. We all know what directors do. They direct the project, but here's the part we don't consider. You have to start understanding, no different than my 2 favorite analogies in life, because like I said, the business of show business, just like life, if you look at it this way, I always like to use the legal profession, lawyers, and the medical profession, doctors. Because you can just say, I'm a lawyer, but what will happen is you'll wind up saying, well, yeah, but what kind of lawyer? Because there are criminal attorneys, there's prosecuting attorneys, there are defense attorneys, there are bankruptcy attorneys, there's real estate law, there's workman's comp law, there's all kinds of law, just like there's all kinds of medicine. Well, I'm a GP, I'm a general practicing doctor, or I'm a brain surgeon. And in between those two are a whole ton of specialties. Here's the thing, guys. Just like in life, and I do a lot of dating analogies, man, this is just like dating, okay? We have bios on dating apps because we want to know a little something about the person because it tells us how they think. And I want everybody to understand that you can't necessarily talk with or pursue a feature film director who's a major studio feature film like a Michael Bay or James Cameron the same way you look at a small independent filmmaker, even though they are going to think more similarly as directors than necessarily a director of legitimate television. Because a director of legitimate television is trying to get a show in that's 60 minutes long in an 8-day schedule. So, and a director of commercial has a whole different set of thoughts. So just make sure that you always consider your audience when you think about directors. Try to find out or know ahead of time whether or not you might be pursuing or engaging a studio film director versus an indie film director versus a daytime television one versus a primetime hour drama or a sitcom director. They all have different thoughts and different degrees of what's important to them. Second to that are producers. And by the way, I should say, directors tend to have more power in film in terms of deciding cast that's not a star besides television. Not always, but most of the time. Second one are producers of the others. And again, same thing. I don't need to repeat myself. There are different types of producers, whether it's television, film, whether it's an independent producer, just someone doing a project, studio. Again, because of IMDb and Google, we have a lot of ways to sort of vet people and research them and find out. So do as much of that as you can before you send off something in an email or send off something electronically or even put something in snail mail. Make sure you do as much research as you can on someone. But the one thing I do want to make sure that I'm clear about, and there are several different levels of producers in television, from the exec producer, the creator, the showrunner, who also it tends to be a producer, but they created the show from supervising senior producers down to co-producers and producer writers. In television, the producers tend to have more of the decision-making power in casting. Again, not always, just more of it. But that's something that I want you to know. But again, remember that producers in television think in 8-day segments. Producers of film are thinking about distribution and all kinds of data numbers and marketing, and they're much more globally thinking, and it's a very different medium and a very different product. Okay, number 3 are the writers. Now, this is a mess because writers are showrunners, some writers are producers, and then there are people who are just staff writers. But once again, as an actor, when you think about somebody who's a writer, guys, this is really formulaic, and the people who are really good writers are really good. So the people who write feature films, the people who write independent films, don't think the same way as someone who writes for an hour drama show on television, because those people are writing with six different acts, a teaser in 48 minutes. The people who write half-hour sitcoms are thinking in terms of 4 and a teaser and 24 minutes. And the people who write feature films are Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. So writers think differently. This is more about, guys, how you pursue them in your conversation. And people who write daytime television, I mean, just watch a soap opera, even though there are only a handful left on television now. But I just want you to understand that no different than other professions in life, you just can't say producer, writer, director. They have different skill sets and different specialties. I promise you, there are not a lot of people, and maybe almost none, that have ever been successful writing feature films and hour television and daytime television and commercials. Doesn't happen. Maybe some of those that have maybe 2 of them maybe in there, but the disciplines are so different. So just know that. And then number 4 are the specific showrunners themselves. This is the head writer. This tends to be the creator of a TV show, and they're not more of an executive once the show gets on the air. They lean that direction. But they are the person who every single week is busy creating the story, breaking what is called A story, B story on a television show. They are the boss of the show, but they still don't have 100. The world we live in today, they're still not 100%. But if you can become friends, or at least professionally friendly with as many showrunners in television anywhere in the world, then by all means, please do so, because they're great people to have in your corner for at least giving you an audition, providing an audition job interview for their show. And last but not least, number 5 are the executives. It doesn't matter whether it's an executive film or television in development, distribution, comedy, features, television, doesn't matter. If you have somebody who's an executive, you want to try and at least figure out by chatting with them or by researching them, what type of executive are they? What is their specialty? What's their expertise? Because again, all of the others can be assisting in your career. But we sometimes as actors just always want to do everything by a big blanket brushstroke. Hey, I'm an actor. Please like me. Please call me in. And I'm just being respectful to you, to not be disrespectful to them, that you probably might want to put a more amount of effort into slicing and dicing what type of person this is and how they think. This is why communication and language is so important. And nobody at any university anywhere is ever going to spend time teaching actors, us, performers, this stuff. But I am, so there you go. So that's the second 4. Again, very, very important. I mean, that's number 1 of the second 4, the others. Not all the way through them yet. Got 3 more to go. Go to kevinewest.com, check out the blog, the store, my book. You can get it there. Like, subscribe, call your friends, family, strangers, people you don't even know. Just bother folks. Get them to come to Instagram, the Kevin E. It's all good. We'll see the Global Thespian crew really soon. Thanks for being here. All righty, there you go. See you soon.